Did you see that move? It's the biggest mistake I see 97% of golfers making that leads to inconsistent contact. What you need to do is start evaluating your golf swing from this posterior camera view. I promise you, if you start watching golfers from the posterior view, you're gonna see some similarities that pop out right away from P1 setup to P4 top of backswing. That's initially what's gonna make you a better ball striker. And then we're gonna take a deep dive at the second half of this video on how they move from P4 top of backswing to impact and a little bit beyond. And you're gonna start to see the game-changing move that they're making with their hips that I showed you at the beginning of this video to make you a better ball striker. And I promise you, when you take a look at Tiger Woods' golf swing back in his heyday, early 2000s, you're gonna notice this move, and it's so obvious that you're going to have clarity on how to build this into your golf swing and why it's important so you can become that better ball striker. So let's go back to this posterior camera view. And first off, let's imagine that there's a line cutting my body in half, right down the middle of my hips. As I work to the top of the backswing, there's two things I wanna do. I wanna take my trail glute and trail shoulder, and I wanna get them working towards and a little bit past that midline. If I do that, that means I'm turning the right amount and I am not swaying away from the target. This is the death move. We do not want to be here because now it requires so much lateral movement in multiple areas of my body, which makes it very inconsistent at low point control. Fat shots, thin shots become the consistent outcome. So if you want to make changes in your pivot initially from P1 to P4 that are going to have a positive impact and outcome on your ability to make consistently solid contact, get your trail glute, trail shoulder blade to that midline at the top of the backswing. Pause 1, 2, swing through. Just making that change and upgrade in your golf swing should have a positive impact on what I'm about to show you. That alone will change your golf swing. And so it's about working on one thing at a time. And I would say own that before you move on to step 2 here in this video. But I want to make sure that you can look at it on film with confidence and conviction. So watch some tour players here on both of my sides and pay attention on how their hips are moving from setup to top of backswing. And you're gonna notice similarities that I just mentioned a second ago. So now as you see them turn to the top of the backswing and you consistently see that their trail glute and trail shoulder blade is getting to that midline, if not even passing it just a little bit, that is your standard deviation. That's where we're trying to work towards. Now when we go to the second half of this video, step 2, working from top of backswing to impact and a little bit beyond. So P4, impact P7, and let's go into P8, shaft parallel to the ground in the follow through. What we're going to pay attention to, now that we're in a good position at P4, we're gonna watch how far this lead hip moves in a position of hip slide towards the target. Yes, the hips are going to slide and they're going to rotate. But initially, at the start of the downswing, they are sliding more than they're rotating. And so let's focus on how much the hips slide from P4 to P7. Because they're already set up for success and we're in a good position, it makes it easy initially, right as the downswing starts, you're just going to notice the hips moving towards the target, but yet the head remains very centered in between the feet. And that is key. If I start the downswing and start bumping my hips towards the target, but the head is equally going towards the target, that is when the problem occurs. We want the head to remain in the center of our stance as our hips are sliding towards the target and turning. So take a look here now at some swings working from P4, top of backswing, down to impact, and really recognize how many inches those hips are sliding towards the target. We're talking 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 inches of hip slide in the downswing. That is massive for you to understand because that is what gets the low point in front of the golf ball, and it's also a move that helps you shallow out the downswing. Let's take a look from a down the line camera angle. If you pay attention, if I go to P4 and I'm in that same position I just described earlier, and then I just made a move of hip slide. I'm gonna slide my hip 6 inches. Would you tell me that that shallowed out the downswing, or did that make me steep and over the top? The answer is very simple. It shallowed out the downswing. So just understand that just by learning how to move your hips while keeping your head centered is going to be a shallowing technique that you can use in your golf swing. If you have any questions at this point in the video, please drop them below. I'll answer them and make sure that I answer them with more content that I create moving forward. So now as we go to step 2 in building this into our golf swing, we know what it's like to get to P4 with 0 hip sway, and now we're aware that we're trying to slide and rotate our hips as much as we can while we keep our head centered and level. We want to work on rehearsal swings, going to P4, pausing, pushing our hips as forward and up as we can, belt buckle to target, 2 straight arms, rehearsing that. We're just going to start speeding this up a little bit. We're going to take a break. We're going to go look at the video, confirm on video that our form and technique is upholding the standard that we've set by watching tour players go through this motion time and time again, because we know it's a similarity that we're trying to build into our own golf swing. When you have the confidence and conviction that you're doing this correctly without a golf ball in front of you, then you sit a golf ball down, put it in a position to make it easy on yourself, on a tee, on a fluffy lie, and then simply try to punch it down the fairway. We're not trying to hit it far. We're just trying to see if we can replicate that pattern. So get set, centered pivot, tuck the hips. Solid contact, draw a little bit to the right of my target line, but that's not really what I'm paying attention to right now. Right now, I'm just trying to see if I can build that pattern into my golf swing, confirm on video, and then I get to start focusing on contact, distance, curve control. But right away, I know I made solid contact. When I go back and look at the film, I'm pretty positive that I turned to the top of the backswing with 0 hip sway, and then I also started sliding and turning those hips to get that belt buckle much closer to the target than I was getting it before when I was struggling with fat shots, thin shots, inconsistent contact. If you enjoyed the content in this video, please like this video and subscribe to my channel to gain more access to quality content like this. I'm Coach Andrew Banner with Golf Solved, and I am here to help you become a better golfer.